So, look, today was a very good day. One of the things that we're doing the first few days, we have a one-on-one competition where we mix the groups up. So, each group has small guys, big guys, medium-sized guys. So the three finalists today in the one-on-one were Mathurin, Walker, and Turner. And Mathurin ended up being the winner. Walker was second, and Miles was third. But it was really super competitive. Walk and Mathurin played together on the blue team today, and blue team did some good things. And so that's just a couple of things from today.
What did you like about their connection, basically? I mean, how much have they had a chance to kind of interact together, and what did you like about
that? Not much, because Ben was out, the last third of the season. But today was fun to watch. The blue team did very well in all the competitive stuff. So that was McConnell, Mathurin, Walker, Toppin, and Jackson. Those guys did a great job. Sarge were good too. Those guys are playing together right now. There's no set lineup yet or anything like that. But today that's how we looked at it. And the guys on the green team did a nice job too.
I know it's very early, but what have you seen from Mathurin coming back from that injury?
He's real motivated. He's a great competitor. He hates sitting out. He's worked hard this summer. He's in great condition, and what he did today in the one-on-one was really impressive.
Mathurin's always been a great one-on-one player. I mean, that's always what stood out about him. Is this a change at all for Walker? Is there anything you saw from Jarace in that tournament that either you haven't seen or that you saw a lot of growth in?
Well, we know these guys both have a lot of ability. Big thing right now is that we have to place a greater emphasis on defense, and so getting on the floor, staying on the floor, defense is going to be a big part of that. So those guys know it. They look around, they see a lot of good players in the gym. It's super competitive, which it should be, and so day one was good.
Both of those guys obviously have the physical tools. You've talked about that a lot. How are you seeing their technique improve, each of them, Ben and Jarace?
Well, I mean, just overall approach-wise. One thing that's hard for players coming out of school now that are, one-and-done guys is that they come into the NBA, and a lot of people are telling them that they're going to have the ball, they're going to do things, they're going to score, they're going to have it in their hands, all this kind of stuff. We don't play that way. We play fast. We play with a lot of ball movement, and the guys that can guard individually, the guys that play a lot. I mean, you look at Nembhard and Nesmith in the playoffs. I mean, it's hard getting these guys off the floor. If we can develop a couple of other guys that have the same kind of two-way ability, it strengthens our depth. It makes us harder to play against.
Coach, TJ said yesterday, like you just said, depth of this team is your guys' superpower. Just how encouraging is that? Where you said yourself 11 guys could play on this team. Just heading into the season, how encouraging is that?
Well, we got 19 guys in here that can play, But yeah, look, that's just going to be a fact. And when our veterans are co-signing on it and talking to you guys about it, I don't need to say a whole lot.
Day one in the books, how much excitement do you feel as a coach with this squad going into this season?
How much excitement do I feel?
Yeah.
I feel a lot of excitement. You can't tell?
What's different on the first day when you have so many returning guys? Does it feel like you hit the ground running a little faster? Is it more about refreshing? How different is this than even some past first practices?
Well, we have a different approach starting camp. I mean, we do a little bit of teaching at the beginning, and then we get right into defensive stuff, and it's fast and furious, and it builds up, and we build up to team competition at the end, and so our structure this year is different than last year. And one of the things when you have a returning team is you want to make it feel a little different, So today was a good day. Tomorrow we'll try for more of the same.
How does the new officiating emphasis on more physical play help or alter your defensive approach?
Well, we've just, we've got to be a physical team. We became a more physical team in the playoffs with our full court pressure and our denial and those kinds of things. Offensively, you're not going to get touch foul calls. It's just simple as that. And so you've got to play with a level of force offensively that gets the whistle to blow. You have to put a defense in a real bind for the whistle to blow. And so, driving into a crowd and throwing something up and then complaining about the referees, that's not going to get it.
Does it help offensively that you guys are already a high-paced team and maybe can avoid getting bogged down in the half court?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to lead the league in passes again. We did last year, 320 a game or something like that. It brings more energy to our entire game, not just our offense, and it makes us harder to guard. So, yeah, I mean that's a big emphasis today, and it will be every day.
Some passing in your career.
I feel like this year is year 4, so I know it's what I'm coming into this year, which is playing hard. It's competing with the guys, but nothing really changed. It's the same group from last year. So.
What did the playoffs and how you played in that stretch do for your confidence in your game and how you feel about what you can do with this year?
I think it helped me a lot, just with the experience that I got from it, from playing in the playoffs. It's nothing like it. It's nothing that can compare to the playoffs, playing in the playoffs. And I feel like it elevated my game a lot. Just my confidence in my game and what my abilities and I can do. I feel like that really showed in the playoffs and stuff. So.
What did it tell you about how your game translates? Basically, what did it tell you about, your energy level, your up and down play? What did it just tell you about how you fit in that game?
I feel like the playoffs showed that, I can play in the playoffs. I'm a playoff player. And just based off, how I feel like I am a playoff caliber type of player. And I feel like my game really fits the way we play and just the playoff atmosphere, just that energy, bringing it all every night. I think that's what I did this year. So I'm looking to continue to just build on it.
What was Dallas like with Miles and James and what you guys tried to accomplish down there?
Yeah, it was dope. It was super dope. Bigs coming together. This is our first time doing it, and it was a good, dope experience. Went to Miles' house, chilled at his house. We talked it up a lot. Talked about this year and the responsibilities as bigs that we have this year, coming up this year, and how we just want to compete and try to get each other better. I think that's what we did in Dallas. We put a lot of one-on-one, a lot of post-ups and stuff to just get our feel back for playing.
How did Miles put that together, and did he say anything that really stood out to you from that you could take into this?
Yeah, just holding each other accountable. I think that's the main thing I took out of it. We went down there, and we knew we were just going to battle and try to iron sharpens iron, but we went down there with a goal and to get better. Miles emphasized that, LP emphasized that it's our responsibility to hold everybody accountable, hold ourselves accountable, and try to be better than we were last year.
What impressed you about James? What was it like for your work against him, and what's that dynamic been like between you?
It's been good. It's been real fun. He sort of elevated my game as much as I'm elevating his game. Just the way he plays, his length. He's a big guy. He's athletic, and that's what the game is sort of changing to. Guys that can shoot the ball and just very athletic. So playing against him, I feel like it's going to elevate my game, and I'm going to push him and elevate his game too.
Is it weird not having sticks around?
Yeah, all respect to him. He's in a good situation right now, and we're just looking right now to just get better as a team.
What are some of the things you're focusing on to elevate your game this year?
I'm trying to stretch the floor a little bit off this year. I've been working on my jump shot with Jenny, and also just my motor, trying to keep a high motor. So when we do get in those tough situations where I got to play X amount of minutes, I would be ready. So.
You're so quick up and down the floor. It doesn't seem like the motor would be an issue, but is that in your mind?
Yeah, that's still something that. Yeah, of course. I feel like every aspect of my game I want to build on, but my motor is something that I can, when I'm not having a bad shooting night or something, my motor is something that can carry me. So I want to be in tip-top shape. So when those times do come where I got to play, like I said, X amount of minutes, or I got to do everything on defense, got to guard the best player, I'll be ready.
You spoke about some of the conversations you've been having, but how would you describe the change from 1 year coming in as a team that's trying to make a step to now coming into training camp knowing that you just came off a conference finals?
I mean, last year, we had a great year, but I think that's all passes right now. We're looking forward right now. We're looking to try to have a good year this year, and that's our main goal right now. I know everybody's been probably talking about it. We're not thinking about what happened last year. It's a accomplishment, of course, but we're looking to make a bigger run this year.
One thing Ty said is it felt like you guys don't have to start at square one in terms of learning basics as much this year. Is that the case? Do you feel like you're like on chapter 2 in the book or something like that?
Yeah, of course. I feel like this year is a little different. Like you said, it's like we're not starting off in the beginning. We're already ahead, a lot ahead. So now it's just us helping the younger guys, try to lift them up and teach them the ropes and stuff. So I think we're in good shape right now.
You talked about working on the jump shot. What's Jenny taught you? Basically, is this the most extensive you worked with Jenny on the jump shot? And what's changed for you so far? How much better, more confident do you feel to it? And what's important to you about what it can be for you?
I feel like she taught me a lot this year. Just the confidence that I have in my shot now. It feels way smoother than how it was previous years. She helped me sort of elevate it to where I can, like I said, I can shoot the ball with confidence, and I feel confident in it. It's just I feel like it's gonna help the team. It's gonna help me, of course, but it's gonna help the team space the floor out. But me being allowed to be able to shoot the ball, it's gonna expand my game a lot. So, looking forward to using it.
Your second game.
Just more comfortable, more confident, know what to expect, know what the team wants, know what the team needs. So, just having that year of knowledge is definitely key.
How can you see that helping you in the basketball sense already in terms of what you had to do on the floor?
Like I just said, just that confidence, just knowing where to be on the court, on defense, on offense, and then even each other's tendencies. I've been playing with each other for a little minute now, so I know what players like to do, what we like to do, how to help my teammates. So it's a year under your belt definitely helps.
What skills are important for you to get better at this year in your mind?
I feel like it's going to always come back to defense. So fighting over screens, being in the right spots, playing passing lanes, blocking out, defending, rebounding. I feel like that side of the ball is what's going to take us to the next level.
Just trying to think of more things to think about defense. I know we talked a lot last year about gambling. How much progress do you think you've made in terms of cutting that down, defending more with your feet, I guess, versus your hands?
A ton. I'm never out of the play anymore. I feel like that was a big thing. Gambling, reaching, staying out of the play. I feel like I'm always at least a decent amount in front of me and my man in the ball, in the rim. So just keeping that in mind, just staying solid and just limiting mistakes when I end the ball rather than trying to make a great play.
Rick said I think you were one of the last guys standing today in the one-on-one tournament, basically. What does that tell you about how you progressed? Where do you feel like you did well today? And in what way is that kind of a marker for you?
I feel like it's a good marker, but second isn't where I want to be. So just continue to grow, develop on that side of the ball is definitely key, and just continue to grow and just get better. Each and every day we're out here in training camp, that's what it's all about.
Rick said that blue team you were a part of played pretty well today. What did you like about that group that you were with and how you guys clicked?
Honestly, we just have genuine love for each other. Me, TJ, Obi, Zeke. We had T out there, Ben Matherin. So all of those guys, we spend time together off the court. We eat, we talk, we chill, we joke. So I feel like just something that simple goes a long way, just in terms of us coming in on day one, and just having an immediate impact with each other.
I saw videos of you and Pascal together, leave it, his place. What did those sessions mean to you, and is there anything he taught you that really resonated with you and that you want to take into this year?
Really just, he taught me about his path, and I feel like that's what stuck with me the most. He taught me about the G League, and he even won a G League championship, which is crazy to think about. So him coming from that and then being able to win a real championship just shows his level of fight, his level of effort, just not being able to get up, staying resilient through that process. So, just little things like that he talks to me about each and every day just definitely goes a long way.
What did you think of his house and gym?
Crazy. I got to get back. I got to get back for sure. Crazy. And it's not even done yet, so really? I can't wait to see when it's all finished.
One thing he posted on Twitter, I think, was video of him just doing one-on moves and counters and everything like that, and basically trying to have you mirror that. What all did you just learn there? Just obviously one of the biggest things for him is just all the different ways that he can beat you offensively. What all did you just pick up from watching him, just that kind of stuff?
Really just simplicity in that mid-range area, and then just knowing what to get to. If they take this away, go to this. If they don't take it away, keep going. So, like, it sounds simple, but until you're in the moment with the defender in front of your face, like, you don't know what he means until you watch it, till he shows you how he does things. So it's impressive, really, how we're so efficient in, like, this mid-range area.
How much better do you think you got just by taking those lessons?
So much. I mean, just even mentally, just having those mental notes in my head, and obviously going out there doing it with him is key. So I feel like that week in Orlando, when I was with him, one-on-one even, I learned a lot and grown a lot.
I think Rick made a point of pointing out, like, in that one-on-one tournament, you were playing against Ben at the end, and you guys were also on the blue team together. What was it like to deal with him one-on-one? Because he's obviously a problem, in those tournaments. But what was it like to also play with him? And like, what did you kind of learn about him today on both of those things?
It's fun. It's fun because he's a competitor, I'm a competitor. We both want to win, and that's why we were both at the end. And that's why we had a good day. We have two really competitive guys on the team that want to grow, that want to get better, that want to keep elevating our game. So I feel like me and him could just continue to push each other each and every day, even if we're on the same team. I mean, he's giving me notes, giving me pointers, keep pushing me to go hard. So, I mean, it's a great teammate to play with and play against. He's gonna get you better regardless.
Does it mean anything or help you in any way that your second season you have almost exactly the same teammates that can be a part of this with you?
It's fire because I know, like, the NBA, I mean, it's a business, so changes happen, things happen, and try to get in the best position to win. But, I mean, the fact that the GMs, just everybody here thinks that we're already in a position with the win with the guys we have, it just shows the confidence, the love, just the care that they have for us, just to be able to keep just a ton of these guys together. So definitely grateful for that.
Did day one today, obviously for you because last year you were a rookie, but I mean, did it feel like even collectively you guys started further along than you did a year ago?
I mean, I don't know if I remember the first training camp day, but I mean, my feel is like, I mean, it felt like we could leave tomorrow on the road and be good. So, I mean, just the fact that our group has that confidence, has that flow, has that connectivity, and that comes from being a year together too. So we're literally a year ahead of some other teams who have some new guys in and running over plays, running over the same concepts that they were trying to teach last year. Like, we know what we're doing on defense. We know where to rotate. We know where the screens need to be set. We know our plays already. Like, we called plays out here from last year. We haven't even run over yet. So I feel like that's just little things like that is big time with a team like we have.
You had any conversations about your role this season or any expectations? How do you kind of approach that heading into this camp?
No, I'm just here to work, and I'll be ready if my name's called or wherever they need me.
Ty, first day of practice. I see a lot of smiling, joking around. How'd you feel out there?
It feels good to be back in an official setting. Feel like season just ended yesterday, and we got a lot of the same guys back. This is the most continuity I've ever had through 2 seasons, so I'm excited to have all the guys back. We don't spend a lot of time putting things in, but rather, reminding guys of things, and it's been good so far, so I'm enjoying it.
Rick was saying he made some adjustments to how you guys handle training camp because when you have a lot of guys returning, you got to mix it up. How did you feel that today?
Yeah, I just feel like kind of how we talked about I talked about media day yesterday, like the focus wasn't on the basics as it usually is, as like, integrating guys into what we do. Everybody here, for the most part, knows what we do other than, some of our young guys, but they were, learning our system through summer league. So it's less about putting things in and integrating, more about reminders and adjustments, which is cool to see because it's different than any camp I've ever been a part of so far.
Coach was saying that Ben Matherin did very well today in your one-on-ones. How have you seen him progress after he's come back from that injury?
Well, Ben always does good in our one-on-ones because he's such a competitor. So it's good to see him back healthy, see him back having fun, see him back competing. Just a refreshing scene to see him back on the floor. So look forward to continuing to have him on the floor and, and for you guys to see how much he's improved, through the injury.
You've talked, and I know Rick's talked about him just sort of Matherin just getting more in with the flow, basically, just making quick decisions, attacking, being a little bit less kind of ISO heavy. Are you seeing that already, basically? Like, what kind of progress are you seeing in that regard from him?
Yeah, I think obviously him playing with that second group some more. When he went out last year, they had to, kind of play a little bit more random because we lost a big scoring part of our second unit. So I think him integrating himself into that group is a big deal, because the ball rarely sticks with that group because everybody's getting off the ball so quick. Obi and TJ play so fast. So to see him to play with those guys has been good to see. And I think it's going to be, a process for him to integrate himself back into playing basketball and back with that lineup because of how how well they move the ball. So it's like I said, it's refreshing to see him back on the floor. And as far as how good he looks, I mean, he does look really good, but if he didn't right now, it wouldn't really matter to me. It's more about just seeing him get his legs back under him and, seeing him compete at such a high level.
You like that it's not the basics this year? Does that change how you approach camp at all?
Nah, it's fun. It's fun. I think it's enjoyable because we don't have to walk through kind of the slow stuff that's like kind of when you're a young team. Like when I first got here, we were doing a lot of the basics. Trust me, I preach fundamentals all the time, but like we were doing a lot of like what our rules are on baseline drives and cutting and who gets back crash schemes and things like that. And now it's less about that and more about adjustments to the things that we do so well and things we don't do well and how we can get better at that. And it's like I said, it's less about kind of the basics of it and more getting more of the details. And I've enjoyed it through one day, and I look forward to continuing to enjoy this.
Down in Orlando and the first couple days you guys have been here, has anyone stood out to you or looking particularly good at any setting so far?
I mean, I would love to tell you that Ben Shepherd has been balling. Ben Shepherd has looked really good. I think he just looks more comfortable in his skin, more comfortable as an NBA player. I told him, I don't know what you did this summer, but keep doing that. I think last year he came, and he's such a happy-go-lucky dude and enjoys himself so much. And I think that he was just a little bit happy to be here and kind of just finding his role. And I think him knowing that now and enhancing and getting better at that has been refreshing to see. So I would tell you Ben Shepherd has been my favorite player to see since we got back together as a group.
And Rick was just talking about the types of guys that play in the playoffs, being able to defend and shoot the ball. It's really early, but Johnny Furphy kind of fits that mold. Have you been able to see anything in a short period of time that stands out with him?
Yeah, I just love it, his competitiveness. I love that he comes out and competes on a daily basis. Obviously being, the young guy, there's more that's expected of him. And, the coach started a little harder on him than probably everybody else, but that's a part of being a rookie. So I look forward to being with him, and watching his growth and helping in any way I can, whatever that role is for him. But he's definitely a guy that can fit right in with our group. He's going to help a lot.
You were talking a little bit about just not having to get as much of the basics in. I mean, what's that mean as far as defense is concerned? You guys talked a lot about last year about playing a different system that was more, 2-on-2 on pick and rolls and more kind of guard your yard. I mean, to what extent, how can you guys build out from that this year? To what degree do you come in feeling like you have a foundation that's sort of set and then you can build on? What's that look like on the defensive end?
Well, my feeling is we adjusted so much throughout last year. Look at our numbers post All-Star break. We were around the middle of the pack, which is really good from where we started. We were 28th in defense around Christmas break. So I think for us, it's just keep growing on what worked so well in the playoffs. And obviously it's a different style of game and it's officiated a little different, but I think the league is kind of moving towards officiating more like playoff FIBA basketball. So adjusting to how the game's being officiated, and just to keep improving what we did so well. But I think just, I think Jenny and Jim, who run our defense, they've done a really good job at looking at the numbers, looking where we've been good, looking where we've been bad. And last year, like I said, it was so much teaching. Yeah. And this year, already on day one, we're going over kind of more complex rotations, from the jump, which is refreshing to see because I can only imagine what the build-out of that's going to look like moving forward. So it's good to see kind of the nuances and the more detail-oriented stuff. But I can't tell you everything, but there's definitely some adjustments being made. It's been good to see from them.
A lot of what you guys did really well in the playoffs, obviously, was picking up 94. More or less. To what extent can you do that over 82? That's the difference when you're sprinting to the end there in postseason. How much of a factor can that be over an 82?
Yeah, I think that's a goal to make that an identity of ours. It's uncommon in the NBA, right? But so is the way we do things offensively. So we're just an uncommon group of guys, to be honest with you. Right. And so I think that because of our depth and the way we play, I think you can expect to see more of that from us, speeding the game up on both ends. Because I think last year when we were able to make them play fast, which most teams don't want to do, and us play fast offensively, that worked to our benefit more times than not. So I'm sure Rick came up here, and I can only imagine the amount of times he said depth. And I can only imagine the amount of times you guys hear that word through time. But it's real because we're such a deep group, and we got so many different guys that can contribute. With adding Furf and Walker, getting into the swing of things, and adding James Wiseman. We got some guys that can really fit really well with what we do, and health and all that stuff goes up and down throughout the year. But I'm really confident in our depth, and I think that will slowly become part of our identity, because I think that really helps us
defensively and helps what we do.
We've heard from Pascal about how much training camp can help him since he didn't have one last year. You had that experience in 2022. How did actually having that training camp help? Being in a camp with the Pacers after you got mid-season training, how specifically do you feel like that helped you when you had to go through that?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm really excited about, to be honest with y'all. I mean, I think last year with Pascal, I think early there might have been some concern from people between the relationship between me and P as a basketball tandem, but it was so unfair, I felt, to him and to I mean, I sound like I'm complaining, but I think it's unfair judgment just because I was hurt. I was hurt the whole second half of the year, and never got back to 100%. I was, battling uphill the whole time. And so for me to kind of be working through that while Pascal is getting into the swing of what we do offensively, it was tough. And it was hard to kind of learn how to do that the right way. As soon as his first game is my first game back, I get hurt. Now he has to get used to playing without me. And then I do come back and I'm on a minutes restriction. So you can see how the minutes were really weird and we didn't get a ton of time to play alongside each other. But I think it really started to click in the playoffs, us playing our two-man game, him screening for me screening for him, and how we can, move better off each other offensively. So I'm looking forward to a training camp. We had a little bit of, at the end of the summer for us to get to play together more to kind of build that relationship. Because I think, as it does with anything, a good relationship takes time, in life with your significant other and in sports with, whoever your duo is. So same with me and Miles. I think because of all the time we've been able to spend together has really helped, our tandem blossom. So I think it's the same thing with Pascal. The more minutes, the more time we get to spend with each other on and off the floor, the better. And so I think kind of judgment of how that worked last year was a little unfair. So, me being healthy, I'm really excited about, and him being here for a full year of camp. For me, when I got my first full year of camp here, things really took off for me. So I look forward to having him here with us, kind of set the tone of how things are going to work for Pacers basketball.
How is the league allowing more physical FIBA style of play? How can that benefit you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you just kind of got to adjust to how the game's being officiated. I think we're a team that last year we were number one in the league in paint touches and paint scoring, but we didn't get to the free throw line a ton. And so I think we just got to harp on continuing to get downhill and stop thinking that it's officiating thing or something like that, and more on us seeking out drawing fouls and things like that. But I think it's good for the game. I mean, I think a lot of people saw the second half of last year. You heard a lot of guys say, hey, this game's being officiated a little different. But we're professional athletes. Our job is to adjust to how the game's being officiated. And I think a lot of people see how FIBA's officiated and they like the style of that game, how it's officiated. And I think you can expect to see our game kind of going that way. And I think everybody in our league knows that, and they're prepared to adjust to whatever that takes. So there'll be you can get away with a little bit more, not as much ticky-tack stuff, but I mean, it's all about the game. Every game is officiated different, so it's all about the flow of the game and figuring it out that way.